Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum everyone. I am Muhammad Wahab and today I am going to create another bar chart to visualize data using a different example. You can see this is a very beautiful graph which depicts information about the expectant mother education, their husband education, their father-in-law education, their mother-in-law education, and the respondent's mother education belonging to the KP region and the tribal region of Pakistan. This bar graph can be used to make several types of comparisons. Say, for instance, one can compare the education of an expectant mother belonging to the KP with the one from a tribal district. Similarly, the education level of an expectant mother can be compared with the education level of her husband or with the education of other people in the family like father-in-law, mother-in-law, or the respondent's mother education. Okay, now in order to begin with making a graph like this one, first I will delete this graph and then I will go to the insert option. In the insert option, I will go to the chart option. Under the chart option, there are multiple other options like bar, column, line, pie. However, I'm interested in the bar chart, so I will click on the bar and the Google Docs will generate a bar chart for me. Now, in order to access the data based on which this graph has been created, I will click on the graph and on the top right corner there is an arrow like option. Click on it and then click on the open source and the Google Excel sheet or the Google sheet will appear and you can see the data on the top left corner of the sheet. However, I'm interested in my own project based data, so I have already pasted it here. First, I will copy the data of the respondents from the KP region and will paste it in the Google Sheet. After that, I will copy the data of the respondents from the tribal district and will paste it here. Okay, as a next step to arrange the data, I will first insert the columns to the right of each respondent who belongs to the KP region. Then I will cut the data of the expectant mother belonging to the tribal area and will paste it next to the data of expectant mothers in the KP. In the same way, I will insert the data of all the respondents from the tribal areas and will paste it adjacent to the data of the similar respondents from the KP. Okay, since the first column of the sheet contains the same information, this one, so I will delete this column. Okay, now coming to the graph. This graph does not reflect all the data, so I will include the missing columns. And for that, first I will identify the range of the data from the sheet, and it is from A to K. You can see it is up to K. Click on the chart, then click on the edit chart option, and simply replace H with the K under the data range option. Now As I'm interested in a 100% stake bar chart, under the setup option, there is staking option, and under the staking option, I will select 100%. This will change the appearance of the whole graph. Now, you can see these legends or symbols that relates to the percentages in the second row of the sheet. I have mentioned percentage here since all of the statistics in this sheet are expressed in percentages. As I don't need this row, so I will delete it. Now, the data in the graph cannot be easily interpreted or the information is still unclear. I will switch the rows with columns, and for that click on the edit chart, and under the setup option simply click on the switch rows and columns. Okay, a few legends are still missing, so I will add them through the setup option in the chart editor. Click on this setup. Now include the missing legends. Metric, graduation, masters, and finally the other. Okay, slightly modification is needed, so click on it, and under the label font size I will select 10, and for the legend position I will select bottom. You can also change the font size from here, label font size from here. Okay, now the graph is almost ready. However, you can make changes. Okay, now the graph is ready. You can simply update it in the Google Docs. Click on this, and an update option will appear here. Click on it. The graph has been updated now, and it is ready for the interpretation. Now, the bars clearly indicate that most of the respondents are illiterate, and the husband level of education is better than as compared to their wife's level of education, and the level of education of the expectant mothers in tribal districts is much lower than the KP. You can also copy this graph from the Google Docs and paste it easily in the Word document. I hope everything is clear and you enjoyed watching this video. If you think it was informative, then share it with your students, colleagues, and friends. Thank you so much.